A Private School Guide, mostly U.S. Chapter 1. Private Grade Schools Info 1. Private Schooling Info. Private schools, also called independent schools, are generally expensive. Parents usually choose them for religious reasons or because they want a higher standard of education than at public schools. Most are boarding schools, although there are usually a few day schools in most cities. Go to the library and ask for the following books. Private Schools in the United States. Handbook of Private Schools. Private Independent Schools. Money is sometimes not enough to get into a private school. Some use secondary school admission tests /SSAF, which is an admissions test for children in grades 5 to 10. There are two forms. Grades 5 to 7. Grades 8 to 10. The tests are multiple choice tests focusing on verbal, mathematical abilities and reading comprehension. Check ets.org for more information. Find a private school. Check out Sunset Magazine, sunset.com, for some ads for private schools. Check out number 371.02 or LC 46.4 at the library for books about private schools and alternative schools for kids. privateschoolreview.com/find-schools. nces.ed.gov/surveys/pss/private school ourkids.net/school/school-search.php. thoughtco.com/private-schools-near-me-4140221. Council for American Private Education. 1726 M. St. N.W. Number 1102. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-659-0016. Fax, 202-659-0018. cape@connecting.com. If you consider private schooling, there is a book called Private Schools in the United States which lists private schools. If you can't find it at your local library, you can order one from the above address. National Association of Independent Schools. 1620 L. St. N.W. 11th FL. Washington, D.C. 20036-5605. 202-973-9700. Fax, 202-973-9790. NICE.org. Advisory Service on Private Schools Camps. 501 East Boston Post Road, Mamaroneck, New York 10543-3740. 914-381-8096. List of private schools and camps. American Association of School Administrators. 1801 Northmore St. Arlington, Virginia 22209-1813. 703-528-0700. Fax, 703-841-1543. aasa.org. Get a referral to independent schools in America. Canadian Association of Independent Schools. Box 1502. St. Catharines, on L2R7J9. 905-688-4866. Fax, 905-688-5778. admin@cais.ca. cais.ca. Canadian Education Association. 317 Adelaide St. West. Number 300. Toronto, on M5V1P9. 416-591-6300. Fax, 416-591-5345. CEA-ACE@ASA.ca. ASA.ca. Council for Advancement and Support of Education. 1307 New York Avenue, NW. Number 1000. Washington, D.C. 20005-4701. 202-328-5000. 5900. Fax, 202-387-4973. Case.org. Gazelle Foundation. 310 Prospect St. New Haven, Connecticut 06511. 203-777-3481. Fax, 203-776-5001. Books and workshops on developmental education. Society for Developmental Education. RT 202, Box 577. Peterborough, New Hampshire 03458. 603-924-9621. Offers workshops and literature to parents and teachers to help them teach their kids. TheEducationalRegister.com. Search for private schools and summer camps. TheEducationalRegister.com. TheEducationalRegister.com/private-boarding-school-search.asp. Vincent/Curtis Education Register. 224 Clarendon St. Boston, Massachusetts 02116. 617-536-0100. VincentCurtis.com. Vincent/Curtis Education Register, lists private day and boarding schools, summer schools and summer camps. Private school websites/independent school websites. NISE.org, National Association of Independent Schools. NISE.org/admission/schoolsearch.cfm, SN. Item number = 521, find a school using various criteria. NISE.org/publications/ismagmain.cfm, Independent School Magazine. ISAC.org, Independent Schools Association of the Central States. Petersons.com/private/psector.html, Private College Preparatory Schools, Petersons Education Center. Educationseek.com/schools/private_schools, Education Seek, Private School Directory. TheEducationalRegister.com, the Vincent Curtis Educational Register, the oldest free guide to private independent schools, and summer camps. private-schools.findthebiest.com, privateschools.report.com. tabs.org, Association of Boarding Schools. awsna.org, Association of Waldorf Schools. In North America, ASNA. ibo.org, the International Baccalaureate Organization. NISE.org, National Association of Independent Schools. nces.ed.gov/surveys/pss/private school search, search for private schools. NISE.org, National Association for Independent Schools. privateschoolreview.com, Private School Review. locateaprivateschool.com, locate a private school. educationseek.com/schools/private_schools, private school directory. VincentCurtis.com, the Vincent Curtis Educational Register introduces parents to the advantages of private independent education. OurKids.net, private schools, boarding school, and summer camps. edu411.org/programs. nces.ed.gov/surveys/pss/locator/locator.html, Private School Locator. Admissionsquest.com. privateschoolreview.com. ncpsa.org, National Council for Private School Accreditation. parentcenter.babycenter.com, School Success Index, how to research private schools. independenceschools.com. privateschoolreview.com. parentingteens.com/private_schools.html. nces.ed.gov/surveys/pss/private school search. napcc.com, 202-408-3338, National Association of Private Schools for Exceptional Children. nces.ed.gov/surveys/pss/locator/locator.html, Private School Locator. ncgs.org, Girls' Schools. nfnssaa.org, Non-Public School State Accrediting ASNs. portersargent.com, Book Handbook of Private Schools. privateschools.petersons.com. privatesschooljobs.com. schools.com, Boarding Schools. Chapter 2. Private Grade Schools Info 2. Specific private schools in the United States. 1. These are private schools. Some offer distance education for homeschoolers. Look in your local yellow pages under Schools. AbingtonHillSchool.com, New Jersey. and Sciences, Online and Physical School. Arizona. Asgusa.com/SWA, San Marino, CA. biz.biglobe.ne.jp/tilde a Buddhist type of school system sms-va.com, Tappahannock, VA. BranfordGrove.com, California. calvertschoool.org, Baltimore. CambridgeAcademy.com, 800-252-3777, Ocala, FL. CardinSchool.org. cdis.missouri.edu/mu-high-school/hshome.htm, 800-858-6413. chathamhall.org, Chatham, VA. childu.com, 877-4 Childu, Fort Lauderdale, FL. chrysalis-school.com, Washington State. citizenschoool.com, Florida. clonlara.org, Home-Based Education, Michigan. cmacademy.org, Washington State. community.net/Colby, California. cone.byu.edu/is, Independent Study High. crossroadschristianschool.com, Florida. ctd.northwestern.edu, Center for Talent. dce.ttu.edu, 800-692-6877, High School at Texas Tech University. dcs.unl.edu/deist/issues.html, High School at DenisonOnline.com, California, Internet School. Development. DiplomaHighSchool.com, Texas. dis.dpi.state.nd.us, ND Division of Independent Study. EagleChristian.org, 888 Eagle 4U, Internet School. Face.net, 800-352 Face, Christian. Flare.com, Florida Air Academy, Melbourne, FL. ForkUnion.com, Fork Union, VA Military Academy. Foxcroft.org, All Girls Private School, Washington, D.C. GOW.org, South Wales, New York. GreatBooksAcademy.org, 800-521-4004, Home. harcourt.com/program/diploma/index.html. his.edu, 800-782-4769, Home Study. homeeducation.org, 800-348-1750. homeeducator.com/hegs/royalacademy.htm, home-school/mall/cambridge/cambridgeacademic.html, 800-252-3777, Florida. homeschoolassociates.com/nars, 800-882-2828, North Atlantic Regional High School, Maine. home-schoolling.com/academy.htm, 800-682-7396, Arizona. homeschools.org, 800-348-0899, Christian. hpvalley.org, Ojai, CA. icslearn.com/ics/courses.htm, 800-238-9525. idsize.com, Independent Day School, Tampa, FL. iit.edu/American, 800-531-9268, American. independent.com/distanceprogram.html, 800-595-2630. International. ISLAS.org, Institute for the Study of Liberal Arts. KeystoneHighSchool.com, 800-255-4937. Kildonan.org, Armenia, New York. LandmarksSeahool.org, Pride's Crossing, Ma. LaurelSprings.com, 800-377-5890, California. Learn at Home, Maine. MapleBrooksSeahool.org, Armenia, New York. members.nbci.com/corecurric/ala.html, Active Learning Academy. midland-school.org, Los Olivos, CA. narsonline.com, North Atlantic Regional Schools. oakmeadow.com, Putney, VT. ocrs.com, Sedona, AZ. ovs.org, Ojai, CA. phoenixacademies.org, 800-426-4952. putney.com, Putney, VT. queenthelburgos.edu, Private Education for Ages 11 to 20 YRS. riverviewseahool.org, East Sandwich, Ma. scahomeschool.com, 800-362-9180, Texas. School Program. School, Illinois. School, Utah. schooloftomorrow.com, 800-925-7777, Texas. Schools.com, Association of Boarding Schools. scs.indiana.edu, 800-334-1011, High School at Indiana University. seascapecenter.com, California. seatonhome.org, Virginia, Home Study. sjms.org, Salina, KS. sks.org, Cornwall-on-Hudson, New York. staa-homeschool.com, California. sudval.org, School in Framingham, Ma. sva.org, Olympic Valley, CA. switchedconschoolhouse.com/aoao/index.html, 877-688-2652, Arizona. sycamoretree.com, California. theglenholmeschool.org, Washington, CT. thelearningcommunity.org, Asheville, NC. themastersschool.com, Dobbs Ferry, New York. University of Nebraska. utexas.edu/CEE/DEC/diploma. wcsks.com, Wichita Collegiate School. whitemountain.org, Bethlehem, NH. williston.com, East Hampton, Ma. willowway.com. Specific private schools in the United States too. American School. 850 East 58th St. Chicago, Illinois 60637. 800-228-5600. Army-Navy Academy. Carlsbad, CA. 760-729-2385. army-navyacademy.com. camdenmilitary.com. Camden, SC. 800-948-6291. Camp Highland. Outdoor Science School. 10600 Highland Springs Avenue. Cherry Valley, California 92223. 909-572-2020. Fax, 909-845-8090. info@camphighland.net. camphighland.net. Residential Science/Outdoor School. CEDAR-MOUNTAIN.com. 800-748-5885. 5368. Kono Christian School. 3269 Quaskton Avenue. Walker, Iowa 52352. 888-646-0038. Kono.org. Delphian School. Sheridan, or 800-626-6610. theschool.com. discoveryacademy.com. 105 and 500 W. Provo, Utah 84601. 801-374-2121. Fenster School. 8500 East Ocotillo Drive. Tucson, Arizona 85750. 520-749-3340. fenster-school.com. Florida Air Academy. 321-723-3211. Flare.com. Happy Valley School. 8585 Ojai, Santa Paula RD. Ojai, California 93024. 800-900-0487. hvalley.org. Judson Boarding School. Scottsdale, AZ. 602-948-7731. Missouri Military Academy. Mexico, MO. 888 Join MMA. MT Bachelor Academy. Prineville, Oregon 97754. 800-462-3404. nawa-academy.com. 800-358 Nawa. Oak Creek Ranch School. W. Sedona, Arizona 86340. 520-634-5571. ocrs.com. Pacific Crest Outward Bound School. 800-547-3312. pcobs.org. Patterson School. POG 500. Patterson, North Carolina 28661. 800-653-2760. pattersonschool.org. Riverside Military Academy. Gainesville, GA. 800 Go Cadet. Cadet.com. Southwestern Academy. 2800 Monterey Road. San Marino, California 91108. 626-799-5010. asgusa.com/SWA. Squaw Valley Academy. POG 2667. Olympic Valley, California 96146. 530-583-1558. sva.org. St. John's Military School. Salina, Kansas 67402. 913-823-7231. sjms.org. Sylvan Learning Centers. 800 Educate. Educate.com. They offer remedial training or full-time schooling to kids and adults. TM Ranch Community. 9601 Fox Brown Road. Indiantown, Florida 34956. 561-597-2315. For mildly retarded people. Valley Forge Military Academy. Wayne, Pa. 800-234 VFMA. vfmac.edu. New England Private School Websites. AIN.org, Association of Independent Schools in New England, AIN. AIN.org/school_camp/directory.asp, school directory New England. AvonOldFarms.com, Avon Old Farms School, Avon, CT. Blair.edu, Blair Academy, Blairstown, New Jersey. Brooksschool.org, Brooks School, North Andover, Ma. Seabury.org, Canterbury School, New Milford, CT. Choate.edu, Choate Rosemary Hall, Wallingford, CT. Concordaceadami.org, Concord Academy, Concord, Ma. Cushing.org, Cushing Academy, Ashburnham Ma. Deerfield.edu, Deerfield Academy, Deerfield, Ma. DublinSeahool.org, Dublin School, Dublin, NH. EmmaWillard.org, Emma Willard School, Troy, New York. EthelWalker.org, Ethel Walker School, Simsbury, CT. GPrep.org, Georgetown Preparatory School, Rockville, MD. GouldAcademy.org, Gould Academy, Bethel, Me. GDA.org, Governor Dummer Academy, Byfield, Ma. Groton.org, Groton School, Groton, Ma. Gunnery.org, The Gunnery, Washington, CT. TheHill.org, Hill School, Pottstown, Pa. Hotchkiss.org, Hotchkiss School, Lakeville, CT. Hyde.edu, Hyde School, Bath, Me. Kent-school.edu, Kent School, Kent, CT. Lawrenceville.org, Lawrenceville School, Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Loomis.org, Loomis Chaffee School. Windsor, CT. Madeira.org, Madeira School, McLean, VA. Milton.edu, Milton Academy, Milton, Ma. MissPorters.org, Miss Porters School, Farmington, CT. http://nct.org/index.htm, North Country School /Camp Treetops, Lake Placid, New York. nmhschool.org, Northfield Mount Hermon School, Northfield, Ma. Petty.org, Petty School, Heightstown, New Jersey. Andover.edu, Phillips Academy, Andover, Ma. Exeter.edu, Phillips Exeter Academy, Exeter, NH. PomfretSeahool.org, Pomfret School, Pomfret, CT. PutneySeahool.org, Putney School, Putney, VT. Standrews-de.org, St Andrews School, Middletown, Day. stgeorges.edu, St George's School, Newport, RI. stmarksschool.org, St Mark's School, Southborough, Ma. sps.edu, St Paul's School, Concord, NH. sttims-school.org, St Timothy's School, Stevenson, MD. Salisburyseahool.org, Salisbury School, Salisbury, CT. shipleyseahool.org, Shipley School, Bryn Mawr, PA. Suffieldacademy.org, Suffield Academy, Suffield, CT. Taftschool.org, Taft School, Watertown, CT. TrinityPauling.org, Trinity Pauling School, Pauling, New York. westminster-school.org, Westminster School, Simsbury, CT. Williston.com, Williston Northampton School, East Hampton, Ma. Windsor.edu, Windsor School, Boston, Ma. WorcesterAcademy.org, Worcester Academy, Worcester, Ma. Foreign private schools, not Canada and US. jfk.ch, Sonnen, Switzerland. ls.ch, Leysen, Vaud, Switzerland. njc.ch, Neuchâtel, Switzerland. Woodstock.ac.in, India. Boarding school websites. All boarding schools are private schools. Some private schools are day schools like ordinary grade schools, but some are residential. The child lives there. BoardingSeahools.com, Association of Boarding Schools. Schools.com, the Association of Boarding Schools. Schools.com/directory/alpha.html, School Finder. Teensoulutians.com, Utah, we have successfully addressed/resolved the issues families faced. KingGeorgeSchool.com, King George School, Vermont, year-round coeducational boarding school, grades 9 through 12. BoardingSeahoolsinfo.com, boarding schools. boardingschooolreview.com, Boarding School Review. boardingschools.com, Boarding Schools. myboardingschool.com, My Boarding School. boarding-school-finder.com, International Search. boardingschooolreview.com. learn4goed.com/USA_boarding_school_education.htm. admissionsquest.com. allschoolsandlearning.com. aspeneducationgroup.com. boarding-school-finder.com. boardingschoollist.com. boardingschooolreview.com. boardingschooolsusa.com. boardingschooolreview.com/top20.php. boardingschools.co.uk. boardingschools.hobsons.com. boardingschools.hobsons.com. boardingschoolinfo.com. boardingschooolsusa.com. boocrags.com/list_of_boarding_schools. cbsa.org, Catholic Boarding Schools Association. collegebound.net, Boarding Schools. diamondranchacademy.com, Troubled Teens. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/boarding_school. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_of_boarding_schools. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/london_school_board. gabbitas.co.uk. helpmyteen.net, Boarding School for Troubled Teens. indschools.co.uk. learn4goed.com/schools_list/boarding_schools_site_map.htm. boarding-schools-india.com. myboardingschool.com, worldwide. newyorkboardingschools.com. nriol.com/return-to-india/education-india.asp, Indian schools and colleges list, boarding schools, universities. westridgeacademy.com. bf.org, stay at a British boarding school, expensive. rma.edu, Randolph-Macon Academy is a college prep, co-ed boarding school with Air Force Trotk, Front Royal, VA. hunterschoool.org, the Hunter School, New Hampshire boarding school modeled after Tom Hartman's ideas. Association of Boarding Schools. 4454 Connecticut Avenue. Number 200. Washington, D.C. 20008. 800-541-5908. Schools.com. Boarding School Directory for elementary and secondary boarding schools. Private school financial aid. Some private schools have scholarships. For the typical private school, financial aid and tuition assistance comes in three forms. Need-based, can't afford the full tuition. Merit scholarship awards are based on some talents such as athletic, artistic, or academic. Tuition payment plans/tuition loan programs where you can pay the fee monthly rather than in a lump sum before the semester starts. Try the financial aid officers at the individual schools you are considering and/or go to the school websites. They can explain the full range of options that they offer and may be able to provide some information on outside funding sources available. Some have needs-based scholarships if you can prove you can't afford the tuition. Go to NICE.org and access the financial aid application called the Parents Financial Statement, PFS. sss.nice.org/parents. This is a universal application which you use when applying for financial aid at specific schools. There are boarding schools and day schools. There are some scholarships that cover everything, even boarding costs, but private schools exist mainly for profit. They expect you to pay something even if you get financial aid. Sibling discounts offer lower fees if more than one child from a family attends the school. Schools offer tuition loan programs where you can spread out the payment rather than pay it all in one shot. Beyond tuition, additional costs may include uniforms, fees, meal plans, books, supplies, trips, transportation, clubs and sports. Family Guide to Financial Aid sss.nice.org/parents. 800-344-8328. sss.nice.org, list of companies that offer tuition payment plans and tuition loan programs. National Association of Independent Schools. 1620 L Street, NW, Suite 1100. Washington, D.C. 20036-5695. NICE.org. maxcsl.org/private-school-grants, government grants for private school tuition. 5mi.com/video/private-high-tips-financial-aid-part-3-1559077992. porter.edu/college-counseling/scholarship-financial-aid/index.aspx, Episcopalian, Charleston, SC. admissions.quest.com/financial-aid/show article.cfm/article ID/article-ID/27/topic/private-school-scholarships. admissionsquest.com/onboarding sehul/2009/11/the-current-state-of--from-the-research-triangle.html. allprivateschools.net. New York C privateschoolsblog.com. ourkids.net/private-school-financial-aid.php. Private sehul-admissions.com/resources_financial-aid.asp. Private sehul-review.com/articles/18. Private sehuls.com/financial-aid.phdml. psas.org, Private School Aid Service. scholarshipfund.org.